awesome job by our players tonight. Really proud of the way they competed, really proud of their competitive spirit. More proud of their preparation throughout the week to get ready for this game. It showed up on the field. Still a lot of things to clean up. Hats off to App State, they're a challenging group. Did some things that really stressed us. But we'll celebrate tonight. It's a great locker room in there right now if you guys could be in there. Really proud of the guys. Got to enjoy it tonight and get ready for next week.
Coach, the first thing I wanted to ask too is the start of the game. They sort of drove down on you guys, obviously with the turnover, both the exceptional turnovers you guys had. But what's the effort that you guys were talking about at halftime or after the game, things you have to work on at least to let them get down to that level of the field?
Well, I mean, if every team goes down there and we get a 99-yard touchdown, we should probably start practicing that. But offense, they're good offense. I know everybody wants us to, stop them every play. They're good offense. So we talk about on defense suffering well, right? You respond. You got to come up with an opportunistic moment, when you get an opportunity. When I was at Penn State, one of the things that they always used to say, run to the ball, Franco. That was Joe Paterno's big. You always coach your defensive players to run to the ball, because when you run to the ball, good things happen. That's something that I've always carried with me. That's what Ian Foster did. He run to the ball. But obviously, when they come out in that first drive, they've got openers, right? They've got things that they plan to attack our defense with. We have to be able to adjust. We went right down the field on them too. I guess it went both ways. But obviously there's things we can improve on. You got to tackle in space. And there's some things that we do defensively not to give up an 80-yard play. You got to kind of make some decisions. You want a 7-yard play or an 80-yard play? We can sell out to stop one thing, but then expose ourselves to some other things. So we try to get a feel in the first drive or two of what the teams are going to do, and then we settle in. I still think we can tackle a little bit better in open field. They got a good running back. He was #2 in the country rushing. You guys told me. So yeah, he should have a lot of yards. I don't know what he had today, but so you got to make some decisions. Obviously, we'll continue to go back and look at ways to get off the field on third down. That's a big thing for us. We got 3 kills tonight, which I don't know if you guys understand what that is, but 3 consecutive possessions with no points. If you get 3 of them, you probably got a 90% chance of winning. I got that philosophy from Shaka Smart at Marquette basketball. 3 trips down the court, no points, they count those as kills. So we kind of do the same thing. We get 3 in a game, that's 9 possessions where they don't have points. You got a pretty good chance to win. Most games you're gonna have somewhere between 12, maybe 15 possessions in the whole game. So I think 9 of them, there's no points, it's pretty good. So we got to continue to look at some things, but overall, ultimately, we got to suffer well and find a way to get off the field.
Coach, I think you guys, over the course of this game, I got the sense that you guys are kind of finding yourselves offensively, maybe an identity, and Doc gave you guys a nice speed element tonight.
Yeah, we talk offensively. You don't know who it's going to be. We don't have a joystick to say the ball is going to go here. We have to react to the defense, which means everybody's got to be ready. It was Doc's night, when the ball finds you, you got to take advantage of your opportunity, because it may not find him for another 3 weeks. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, obviously there's some things we can do to put the ball in certain guys' hands, but in the pass game, the defense tells us where the ball goes and maximize your opportunities. Now, we always try to find ways to get guys to do something with their opportunities, to get more opportunities. But I thought he did a good job. He hadn't really done anything the first 2 games, but he's practiced hard, he's been ready, and it hasn't been because he hasn't been necessarily ready. The opportunity didn't find him. He found him tonight, did a good job of stepping up.
Coach, all 3 interceptions you guys had were while App State was threatening on your side of the field. What is the key defensively to generate those opportunistic moments consistently like you did tonight?
Yeah, there's some things that teams do in certain areas of the field that you can kind of predict, or at least have an idea. Hey, in this area of the field, red zone, low red, high red, they like these type of concepts or these runs. Coach Seymour does a good job of really dialing down certain concepts in certain areas of the field and taking those away. Doesn't mean they can't run something else. But when you get an opportunity, you got to make a play. We've talked about that. It's the same thing in class. If you get an opportunity to make an A, you got to make an A, man. They're hard to make. You get an opportunity to do something positive on the field, you gotta do it. I thought our guys stepped up today. Still a lot we gotta get cleaned up. We made it a lot closer than it should have been. And that's no disrespect to Adam, you know. We made it a lot closer by not finishing. We made it a lot closer by, we're still learning how to dominate. You know, we made it a lot closer by not getting some guys on the ground. We made it a lot closer by turning the ball over on offense later in the game. So we still got some things to clean up as well.
Coach, I know you've been down here in the Sun Belt before, but what does it feel like to come out here with a new group and get your first win in the Sun Belt with Southern Miss?
This ain't the same old Southern Miss. And it won't be ever again as long as I'm here. So we got a lot of work to do, but you're not just coming here and chalking up a win. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be disciplined. It's gonna be coached well. They're gonna play hard. I'm not saying we're gonna win every game, but you just don't get on the plane and come to Hattiesburg anymore and expect to leave with a win. It's not happening ever again as long as I'm here. Now, we may lose next week, but it won't be because we just went out there and showed up. It's gonna be because they came down, they out-competed us, out-opportunityed us, but it's not the same old Southern Miss.
In the second half there, they scored the touchdown after the penalty, then surprised you guys with the onside
100%
kick.
on me, 100% on me. I said to myself, I said on the headset, put the hands team out there. I looked at the clock, said if this was me, I would probably kick it deep one more time and try to get the field position. So I said, put the return team out there, 100% on me. Should have put our hands team out there. Now, as we put the return team out there, we told the guys in the front line, expect bunt, dribble, but 100% on me, 100%. Again, when I say we made it closer than it should have been, I didn't make a good decision right there. Should have put the hands team out there, got the ball back, made them kick it deep, maybe we had to go a long distance of the field, but that was on me.
What was the message to your group, though, to be able to respond after it looked like they had grabbed some momentum?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Our goal, one of our goals is to win the fourth quarter. I don't care if we're winning 100-3, win the fourth quarter. So we need to score a touchdown, or we need to score a field goal. And that's not to try to run the score on anybody. It's just about the mentality of finishing. This is actually really good for us because there's a lot of film we could go back on and say, here are opportunities where we had a chance to finish the game. Coach Huff could have called hands team here. He didn't. So I got to be better, right? Opportunities to take care of the ball, we didn't. We got to be better. So you just talk about finishing, you know, and it's college football, man. It's never over. It's never over. 18 to 22-year-olds think it's over, but it's never over. There's a really good team on the other side who kept battling. Hats off to Coach D-Log. He did a great job of getting this team to battle at the end. They could have, you know, tucked tail and ran. I hope his quarterback is okay. Prayers up to him and his family. But in college football, man, teams are too competitive to just kind of, you know, wave the white flag. So we got to be able to finish.
I'm just wondering what was going through your mind on the Foster pick six, where the ball pops up in the air, he catches it and takes it the other way.
Offensively, defensively, we got to go back out there. So how do we rotate 10, 9 more guys? Because really, I mean, he ran it back. We kicked it, kickoff, they're back out there. So in my mind, I'm thinking, how do we rotate enough guys to still be effective on defense, but not just we just ran a 100-yard sprint. So that's what I was thinking. I knew it was a touchdown when he picked it up. Yeah, the only thing he could have did was fall down. So I didn't even run down there. My old tale, I say, well, if I stay here, we got to come back here to kick it off. So I don't have to run all the way down there. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. How do we get the defensive guys rotated so that we don't lose the momentum that we had of actually stopping them at some point because we started rotating guys.
Coach, your defensive line is one of the deepest, I would think, coming in the fall.
You guys told me theirs was. They had 8+ sacks. You guys told me we shouldn't even show up today, but you guys said in the press conference, right?
Well, Coach, you guys did have 5 sacks today, including 3 from Jamon Tapp.
Really?
What do you say about your defensive line performance?
Did exactly what they were supposed to do. They probably missed 10. Not good enough. Great job today. Is that going to be good enough to go where we want to go? I don't know. We got to improve. They did a great job. I thought they really did. They got after the quarterback. They compressed the pocket. They made it difficult. But is that good enough to go where we want to go? I don't know. That's a good team over there, right? We got to continue to develop some depth. We got to continue to develop some pass rushers. You know, we got guys that can stop the run, but we got to get some pass rushers that can consistently get after the passer. But that's what they were supposed to do.
What do you
I mean,
think
Jeremy
of-
put all this money into the D-line, we should be good, right? I mean, we dumped a buck 15 million, just like Mississippi State, remember that? We dumped 15 million in our D-line, right?
Coach, what do you think about Braylon's performance overall?
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. I thought, you know, the one throw that he had that was a little high was the right read. You know, he's just got to make sure he does a good job fundamentally, pull it down. You know, I thought he did a good job taking care of the ball. I thought he did a good job of managing the game. I thought he kept his energy. I thought even after the turnover, he had the right mannerisms, the right energy. He's playing really good right now. You know, we got to continue to put him in better positions as coaches to make sure that, you know, some of the stuff we did early in the game, some of the third downs we missed, probably could have put him in a little better position, but I thought he did a really good job.
Coach, thoughts on your O-line? Looks like you took a step forward tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. I mean, we're doing some things to give them some advantages, which I think helps. But they're responding. You know, we know what we have. I thought they did a better job of running the ball. You guys told me on Tuesday we can't run the ball because we don't run it in between the tackles. So I put in the runs in between the tackles this week for you guys. We didn't throw as many screens because you guys don't like them, so it's okay. We'll run it in between the tackles. But I thought we did a better job. I mean, that D-line was pretty good. You know, they were upfield, they were explosive. I thought for the most part we did a good job of covering them up, getting some movement when we needed to. I thought the backs ran harder today, which was really good. Not where we want to be by any means, but good enough for today and good enough to build off.
Coach, bunch of forced turnovers and 14 points up, it's still kind of late. What were some positives you really took out of the whole defensive group tonight?
Yeah, I thought they suffered well. We talk about that and as a defensive unit. Two things we talk about: playing with cohesion and suffering well. Right? Everybody being on the same page. Right? Everybody getting the same call, eyes in the right place, all of those things. And then suffering well. Offenses are too good in college football with the way the rules are and the field spread. They're going to be able to move the ball. What you have to be able to do as a defense is be able to come up with those opportunities when they show up. That doesn't mean that they should just walk down the field, but good offenses are going to look at what you've done well and try to counteract that. It's happened 3 weeks in a row. The things that we look at on film, the teams say, okay, we do this. They don't do as much as that. They do whatever 6 plays worked from the last game. Well, that's part of it. We were better at getting the ball from rolling off the table today. They tried that early, stopped it. We were better at some of the RPO stuff. We weren't better at some of the glance stuff. So some of the things that we still got to work on, obviously it's going to be ever changing because every week, whatever plays we gave up today, I'm going to see them the first 6 plays next week, right? So we just got to continue, but you can't coach everything, right? You got to hang your hat on something, right? If you got 90% of what a team shows, you got to coach that 90. You know, the 10% are, hey, they may do this. You can't chase ghosts. We got to be able to adapt. I thought we adapted better today, coaching and playing. You know, they tried some of the zone stuff where the ball was rolling off the table the last couple of weeks. We had a plan for that. Then they went to some other runs that they've been good at. I thought we did a good job. We still got a lot to clean up. Our third down conversion rate right now is probably a little better on defense, especially. Same thing on offense. That changes the course of a game when you get guys off the field or you're staying on the field. So.
You mentioned how talented college offenses are. How important is it for the defensive side of the ball to win all these possessions and everything?
Yeah, I think that's why we have these metrics because you can't really look at this stat sheet and say, oh, well, we held them to X amount of yards rushing, X amount of yards passing. You got to have some metrics that are defense friendly. They walked the ball all the way down the field, got a turnover. I'll take that every day. They walked the ball all the way down the field, got another turnover. I'll take that every day. But if you look at the stat sheet, they probably had 200 yards on those 2 drives alone. You know what I'm saying? So offenses are too good, so it's really not a stats thing anymore. You got to create some, we call it momentum stoppers. You know, how do you stop momentum? You get them off the field at some point, not just necessarily 3 and out. Maybe it's 6 and out, from a defensive perspective. Maybe it's getting down in the red zone and forcing a field goal rather than giving up 6. Maybe it's forcing a missed kick, whatever that may be. So I think offenses are too good, especially Coach Lockett. I mean, he's been doing it at a high level. He's really good at putting his players in good position. You're not going to look at the stat sheet and say, man, they only had 90 yards rushing. That doesn't happen in competitive games. We go play the New York Jets. It's a little different, if that makes sense.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the fans that showed up today. I thought our crowd was phenomenal. I know the people that weren't here had emergencies. but I thought for the most part, the fans, students, the nastiness, is that what it's called? Yeah, the nastiness was great. I thought they stayed, you know, throughout the game. I thought the band was awesome. This is a university and community win. This is not a football team win. This is not a Coach Huff win. This is not a, this is a community and university win. And the more of these we can create, the better we're gonna be. So, phenomenal job by everybody. Still a lot of work to do, but I appreciate every person that showed up today. I know the band, the dance team, and all of them don't get enough thanks. VJ Cujo, phenomenal environment. This is who we can be. We got to continue to press forward. We got to get better on the field to give you guys a better product each week, but really appreciative of what showed up today. Thank you, guys.
How's it going, Jamal?
All right, questions for Jim on tap?
Jamon, what was the matchup that you guys had? Obviously, it worked for you, beneficial for you. When you guys coached, were you set up on, from watching the film, you were expecting to see what they gave you guys?
Yes, Coach been talking all week. We had set up some plays for the 55 tackle. You know, we got some other plays that we had designed just for the O line. And looking at the people, the O line, I say that the way that he set every play, it was like bound for the players that we had to work. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, Coach the DC, he fit the players right. He gonna call it, you know, every time, right place, right time. We just gotta trust him, trust the will.
3 sacks tonight. What was working for you?
That's crazy because I was talking to the D line like first half, and I was we was talking. We were trying to adjust to like how to actually rush in our rush lane because we was like getting out of our rush lanes, and you know we had Coach Mathis. He had us helping us trying to figure out what we could do better to make our rush lanes better. So once we came in from halftime, we came out. You know, we actually produced what we were supposed to do, what we talked about, and adjusted the right way. You know, that's about it. You know, team together. We're gonna do what we gotta do.
Appalachian's offense was really talented coming into this game. You guys held on to 14 basically the whole game and all these turnovers. And what went really well for you guys on that side of the ball tonight?
Yes, sir. You said what really went well?
Yeah. What was clicking for you guys, you know, on defense? Stopping
To
your
be honest, I say working in cohesion. You know, we have plays where we think it's a 3 and out, and boom, the ball pop up past the sticks. So we got to keep going, and then we gotta have to get back down and play again, get the play, trust everybody, and everybody should execute. And I mean, the more we do that, red zone come, turnovers happen. It's part of the game.
How did you guys adjust to that first series after they ran down, or at least getting a quite a number of yards? And I know there was a turnover, but y'all made some adjustments at least during the time, or was it halftime adjustments?
What I would say is, I mean, listening to the DC, we came in, because, you know, on the sideline, we're going to have our adjustments on the sideline after every series.
Yeah.
So, like, first part of the game, first half, we came in and we were saying, like just keep doing what we're doing, you know, just keep being disciplined with the stuff we got going, and just, like, follow the game plan, just trust everything we got going on, because, I mean, we're going to suffer, you know, like, it ain't like it's just going to be perfect world, you know, like, we're going to have ups and downs, but when the opportunity presents itself, we're going to have to make the most of it. And that's what we really harped on, you know. We tried to get it going as quick as we can. You know, we're gonna try to pick it up next week, you know, get it going a little faster, but at the end of the day, man, just keep pounding the wall until it falls.
Speak a little bit to, you guys got to a point in the game where you had a younger quarterback there, you had a little bit of lead, so you kind of can turn the heat up on the youngster, man, and y'all were sending, 5 and 6 at a time. Can you talk about it as a pass rusher, you know, you should get your juices going a little bit?
Yes, sir. What I say is, man, when the freshmen come in the game, I mean, we kind of got an image of what's happening, you know. we kind of got a good picture of how the game about to go. So when they got the opportunity, we got to take advantage of that opportunity. Like we were saying, we got to take a very good advantage of that opportunity. So we talked about the pass rush lanes before we walked in. Before we walked into halftime, came out of halftime with the pass rush lanes. We had that all good, and I mean, you know, we just work until shit, you don't want to work.
How big was this first Sun Belt win for you this season?
It's a big one, man, because the whole team just happy, the whole team like willing to work. Because what I was saying this week, we have our player meetings, and I had told the team, man, like we could sit down and we could talk about how hard we work, and we could lean on how hard we work, and the outcome might not be what we want. And to be honest, like that don't mean that we can't harp on our work. We still gotta stay dedicated to the work, you know. And I mean, when the time comes, we gotta actually show up. All the stuff that we done did, all the stuff that we done harped on, we can't sit down and say that's what we did and expect it to happen, expect us to win. We gotta still go out and execute and compete. And I mean, I told the team that, and I mean, we just gonna respond whatever we gotta do. The team responded.
Over these past couple games, the defense exceeded expectations. What would you say has been reinforced in practice to make that happen?
To be honest, I'd say the operation and just playing schematically and effort. You know, effort non-negotiable. But see, just the schematics of the game, harping in on it, you know, staying focused, making sure everybody executing their job to the best ability they can, you know. We don't want nobody out there that don't know what they're doing. Coach always said, if you got a question, ask it no matter what, no matter how stupid you feel. Ask that question, because we don't want nobody out there on the field don't know what they're doing, you know.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Jamon.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, questions for Ian Foster?
So when the ball's kicked up out of his foot and just lands in your hands, what are you kind of thinking?
Go.
Just go? Did you know it was an interception? Did it look incomplete to you?
Yeah, I knew it was incomplete. His like shoulder was up on the ground, his hands was up. He had to kind of come. I already knew it was coming up. He ain't gonna fall for it.
Have you ever been a part of anything like that?
Yeah, I have a couple times in high school, but after a while they stopped talking to me in high school too. So it's been a while since I got my hand on the ball.
Interceptions for the defense, 14 points, up until late. What did you really see that kind of excelled this defensive group over a strong Appalachian offense?
Mostly we just trusted each other and counted on each other to do our job to execute. And that just ultimately guys what we want to at the end of the day to win.
In the secondary, y'all got a lot of turnovers and a lot of, stops and a lot of put downs and things like that. Talk to me about what y'all watched on the film. Was there something that y'all just kind of knew what they were going to do before they did it? Something like that.
I mean, everybody has their tendencies, and after a while, you can pick up tendencies based off motions, how they get certain sets, and 9 times out of 10, it's all the same thing. It's just a different way to get into it.
Coming in, you guys, I mean, this is the offense putting up some numbers, kind of a tricky offense, disguised well. Looks like you guys set back in quarters a little bit and make them drive the field, make them, make plays, long drives, and it worked out for y'all in the end. He made mistakes down in the low red. Did y'all see on film that maybe he had a propensity to make those mistakes, those bad throws down there?
On film, he was a great quarterback. I really like a point guard in basketball. He controlled offense, controlled the pace of the game, and made the smart throws, and not just went for the home run ball every time. So we knew we was gonna have a challenge with the quarterback, but we was gonna make him make mistakes. That's our goal every week: make the quarterback make mistakes.
Any other questions?
I'm not sure if you knew this, but the interception that you returned today, that was the third longest touchdown off the interception in school history. If you didn't know that, how did that make you feel?
Really great, honestly. To be part of history somewhere, I'm kind of part of history in my high school sometimes, depending on what you ask about. It's just great to be a part of history somewhere else.
Anything else? Thanks, Ian.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Ian.
What would be the second and first?
Because wouldn't they only do one more yard?
That was 99 yards, right?
Well, you're at a
All right, questions for Jeffrey Pittman?
Jeffrey, 2 touchdowns today. What has been clicking for you through the first 3 games of the season here?
I wouldn't say clicking. I mean, I haven't been playing too well. I mean, the 2 touchdowns were really just open and close yardage.
Speak to the progress the O-line made tonight in the run game, especially between the tackles.
Oh yeah, a whole lot of more space to run the ball. A lot better hold. The timing has picked up from the last couple weeks on the show.
I know I talked to you on Tuesday, and we kind of talked about that time with the offensive line. I thought also getting you out on boundary, and also, I don't know how many yards after contact you had tonight, but I think it was a lot. So kind of talk about that in that part of your game.
Just playing physical. I mean, I played physical my whole life. So, I mean, just playing physical tonight like I always do, and going up to contact will always happen.
Is there a change in the film that you've been watching film? Is there something that coaches are stressing on you to be able to do, at least to pick up some yardage here and there? Can you talk to us about it?
Oh yeah, I was in the building a lot more this week. Came in and did a lot more film study with the running back coach and with Coach Huff to kind of figure out how I can manipulate the blocks to also help out them. And I think it really helped. It helped in practice and it helped this week in the game.
How does that help in the game? How do you take the film study and implement it into the game tonight?
First, it starts in practice. I mean, we do a lot of work behind the covers, and this is nothing but just practice that everybody else gets to see. I mean, we do it all week, every day, all day. So, I mean, going out there to do it is the same thing.
When a defense performs as well as your guys' defense did last tonight, how much does that kind of fuel the offense, you know, in a way?
It makes it a lot easier when they can make a lot of plays and have us in short yardage. It also gives the offense a little bit more juice to, you know, attack them more. Sitting at the defense side of attacking. I think the physical part starts with them always starting the game off. I think with them coming out being physical, it allows the quarterback to be physical, allows the receiver to be physical, the O-line and the backs.
Looks like all 3 of you guys back there tonight hit your holes a little bit quicker than y'all had in the first 2 games. Was it, you know, because there were more holes there, you weren't having to probe as much, you saw space and got to daylight, or?
Yeah, I feel like in the first 2 weeks or so, we were seeing the holes, but we weren't necessarily hitting it because we was too busy trying to read things like that. We really had to pick up our game speed. So good on good practices really helped to allow us to understand, all right, we can't just sit back there and wait. You know, we have to hit it and get what we can get. I think that played a very big part in it.
Considering the offensive struggles that we saw earlier in the season in the first 2 games, would you say the offense is sort of developing an identity kind of at this point in the season?
Definitely developing an identity. Not finished at all. We have a lot of work to do. O-line wise, receiver wise, quarterback, running backs, defense, everybody has to improve throughout the season. I feel like just one conference win doesn't just define us. We have to consistently win every week.
But how does it feel to finally get that first conference win of the year?
It feels good, man. To be on top, we got to stay there. You know, being on top is a great thing, but also a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's gonna have their best game, and if you don't come out and play your best game, then it shows.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Jeff. Was there something during film this week that they thought they could exploit with you?
We just kind of seen a lot of man throughout the week, and just seeing it every day in practice. You know, as you watch the film and then seeing it in practice, it's kind of the same as you see in the game. We was trying to work it a lot and just see the consistency from the slots.
Is there a route that you felt more comfortable with, or something that you and Braylon talked about when you said, hey, I'm open on this route?
No, it just came to me. I just try to get open every play, you know, and just do my job.
Any other questions?
I asked Jeffrey similar question, but with the defense playing so well tonight, you know, does that fuel the offense in a way? Do you guys kind of get a little spark, you know, from that side of the ball playing so well?
Yes, it give us a spark. After coming out of half, we just felt like we had to put something on the board because the defense was getting a lot of stops, and we we wasn't really doing nothing on offense. So we had to get it going coming out of half, and the defense just kept being consistent.
It's only 3 games in, you guys still meshing together, a lot of new faces. It seems like to me you guys took a step forward tonight and kind of developing as an offense, maybe get a little confidence, you know, did you kind of come away with that? You know, I know there's more out there for you guys, but you kind of feel like you took that step.
I just feel like it's the same stuff we go over in practice every day, you know, and just translate it to the game field.
A 58-yard after catch. Just getting the ball in the playmaker that Braxton's able to do to y'all. How does that develop the offense even further when you're able to get those yards after catch? And not just
We got a good receiver room, so I feel like I'm not just the only receiver that can do this. I feel like we have 6 or 7 guys that can do the same stuff, and you know, just play fast really on the field and be consistent in our routes and catch the ball, honestly.
Anything else?
How's it feel that the first conference test was a win? How big is that for y'all?
It's just a start. We on to next week.
That's all. Anything else? All right, thanks, Al.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Doc.
y'all.